All right, good morning. What we're going to do today is we're going to try and install a Fillerz rear tail light set on the back of a 2014 Ultra Limited. The application applies to both 2014 and 2015 models. According to the box, it's not going to require any tools. So step number one, we're going to go ahead and take the saddlebags off and the rider's seat. I'm assuming you already know how to take the saddlebags off. If you don't, you got a latch here, a latch over here to take the seat off. Obviously, you're going to undo the screw on both sides for the strap, and then in the rear of the seat, there's a screw right down there. So, step one, like I said, saddlebags and seat. All right, so we now have the seat off and the saddlebags. All right. A little word of caution: when you take your bags off, put them on something soft. You stick them on the floor in the garage, all you're going to do is just scratch the bottom and mess up the paint job. Alright, so now we're going to move into the application here. So first thing I do is do a quick inventory, make sure I've got both of my filler inserts, the left and the right. There's an MPR BCM 6-pin adapter that comes with the kit, which is just an inline adapter. I'll show you how to install that in a second. It comes with 4 posi tip connectors, which are these red and gray connectors here. I guess I got lucky and somehow ended up with 5. There comes with some zip ties and a 3M promoter ampule. So what we're going to do at first is basically I'm just going to make sure that these things fit. So I'm going to stick the wires here into this insert, lay them in there. Gives me somewhat of an idea of what it looks like. I'm not really trying to get the chrome look. What I'm looking for is safety. That's my sole purpose of installing this. So step one, I want to identify where is the wire going to the rear fender. And as you can see here, there's a hole in the fender after I've removed the seat. It comes across to a connector. I'm going to unconnect this, and then I'm going to install this inline connector. So this really truly is a plug and play application. So I've just realized that in order to install the light in here, I need to run the wire up the fender and come out of this hole here in order to connect to our inline adapter that we're going to put in place. Alright, I don't know how to take this wheel off the back, and I'm not about to attempt it. But what I have noticed is once I place the insert in here, I can run the wire through this gap here. See how I can? So I will route my wire through this gap on both sides. You can see it here, and it's not like that's the only thing that's going in. There's a tube here that goes to the rear suspension. I think that's the air tube. Comes down to this connector here. That's also running behind this. So I'm going to do likewise and run my wire up between the fender and looks like the Torpack support, or the saddlebag support beams, and route it to this general vicinity here. So before I do that, before I actually install this inline adapter, I need to splice into it 4 of these posi tap connectors. Alright, this actually looks like a simple process. On the back of the instructions that come with it, this group up here, this is actually the inline adapter. Alright, and each one of these boxes signifies one of these posi track connectors. So I'm going to connect all 4 of these to this adapter. Let me take this cap off here. This is actually pretty simple. The gray end is what the end you're going to connect to the adapter. The red end connects to the actual filler light itself. If you look here, I just took the cap off. Not zooming in well or focusing well, but in here it's just a little simple cap. I'm going to put that over the wire and then screw it into the end of this thing. And in here there's like a needle which will pierce the wire and make the connection. Alright, so let me do that and I'll get back to you. Alright, we got the inline adapter installed here with those 4 posi track connectors. So I just clicked in here and clicked in here. I think this thing is great. I mean, I don't have to splice into the harness on the motorcycle. It really is plug and play, but I mean, I think it's been half-assed. If you're going to give me an adapter to plug into the harness, why do I need to splice into it? I mean, I'm sure it couldn't have been that hard to make an adapter from this, like a Y adapter, and then to click into or plug and play into the actual lights we're going to install in the rear. So the next step of this procedure is I've just taken a rag, I've cleaned the inside of the actual hole that the filler light is going to go into. If you look at the back of these lights, see the red tape around it. So it's actually going to stick on there, but before we can apply it, I need to take this ampule here, this 3 ampule, and I'm going to end up crushing it, and then I'm going to simply brush this onto the surface that these lights are going to stick to. You need to wait 3 to 4 minutes for this stuff to dry, and then I can stick the light in there. Alright, I've applied the ampule to the hole there. I've let it sit about 4 or 5 minutes to dry, and what I've done is on the back of the light, see there's the red tape, I've removed it. So this is there's an adhesive strip around the outside of this, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bottom into the hole and then hinge it up into it and have a hopefully you have a flush mount there. When you push it into the hole, you should hear these pins on the side click into place, which lets you know it's been secured. Alright, as you can see, I've got the right side done. Now I'll show you as I do the left. So take the wire, route it into the recess. And now I'm going to hinge this actually into place. And you're going to hear a click sound. Make sure you apply even pressure all over it. And that's good to go. See how they're both on both sides. Now that the lights are in place, what I've done is I've routed the wire from, not sure if you can see this wire here. All I've done is I've routed it up and secured it with one of the supplied zip ties to this connector and to that connector. And then this wire simply runs up here and comes out from behind the saddlebag support beams. So here's my right wire, here's my left wire. They're both already secure with the zip ties. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away some of this excess wire that I have here. I really don't want to have a whole bunch of it balled up under my seat. And then I'm going to connect the ends based on the instructions to the end of these posi-tap connectors. After that, then we'll give it a try. Connected to the connector actually seems to be a pretty simple process. All we're doing is step 3 and 4. I'm going to take the end of the wire, I'm going to stick it into the red hole. These have a hole in the end. I'll put it in there, and then screw it in, tighten it down, and it should connect. Alright, I say should. Obviously it's not a proven method, but we'll see. Alright, be back in a few. Alright, everything is connected in here. Got all the wires connected. What we're going to do is I'm going to test this thing first, make sure it works. And then if it is, then I'll go ahead and tidy up these wires. Let's see what we got. Alright, let's go with a right blinker first. And I'll tell you one thing, that thing is bright as hell, which is good. That's exactly the effect I wanted. So right blinker. Left blinker's working. Let's do some, put the hazards on. And yeah, that is all right. That thing is really nice and bright. It's a lot brighter than the LEDs that are on the Tour pack. The video might not show it too well, but so in fact you can see the contrast between the brake light and those filler lights. The brake light's not that, doesn't appear to be that bright anymore, so that'll probably be the next upgrade. When you install these, you do have the option of if you want to just go with running lights and brake light and turn lights, that's the option I chose to go with. I mean, if you only want to go with running lights, you can do that. It all depends on how you want to wire it. Running lights only, or just brake lights, or just brake lights and turn signals. It's pretty dynamic. Allows you to, gives you some options on how you want to install this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy this thing up. I will throw the saddlebags back on it, the seat, and we'll get a final after install picture. All right, bags are back on, the seat's back on, and here's the final look of the Custom Dynamics Fillerz taillights. I think these look great. This will be great for safety, and hopefully makes me stick out a little bit more on the road for some of those people who are not paying attention to motorcyclers. Any of you that have been riding for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So again, Custom Dynamics Fillerz. You can get them online, or I picked mine up at my local Harley dealership. Yeah, the Harley Davidson dealership right down the road. They gave me a 10% military discount too, so it's not bad. Usually online they go for $249, I believe. But shop around. I'm sure you can find some savings somewhere. Highly recommend this. It's a great and simple application to put on your bike. They look great. They stick out. And 2 thumbs up. So, as always, ride responsibly, and I hope this helps. Take care.